Hi everyone, this is Brenda from Mainelyhybridhomesteading. I hope you're doing well today. Sorry about the background noise. I've got my canner going with some chicken and some bone broth next to that. But I'm also going to be dehydrating some mushrooms today. Our grocery store, Hannaford, had the 10-ounce packages for $1.99, so great price. So I've lightly washed these mushrooms. And I had dehydrated some about a year ago, and I sliced them, and I have been using them in soups, and not crazy about the texture. So Darcy from the Purposeful Pantry, if you want to know anything dehydrating, go to her channel. Her family also didn't care for them sliced, but she has a little chopper thingy. Basically, it cuts it up into cubes, and that way it's smaller pieces in your soup or whatever, and you're still getting the flavor, and the texture is not as bothersome. So I understand some people can't do mushrooms at all. We have friends that are like that. But so I'm just gonna be cubing up these mushrooms. And definitely having better luck with my Cosori dehydrator versus dehydrating in the air fryer. So I'm not sure if we're going to be using all the packages today, but definitely going to fill up my 6 trays. Okay, so got quite a bit from the one 10-ounce package, so we'll see how many trays that gives us. So I'm using these flexible silicone sheets that I just cut to size for my trays. They're a little stained, but they're clean from previous dehydrating projects. So these are gonna shrink up, but you do want to leave a little bit of space in between them. You don't want to pile them on top of each other. So I got 5 packages. I don't know if I will get to use them all, but I am using almost 1 package for 1 tray. So that may actually work out just perfect. This tray came with my dehydrator, and it's a hard plastic, and I prefer the silicone sheets that I just showed you, especially for removing the food when it has dried. It's easier to peel it off, but certainly you could use this for the mushrooms. Okay guys, we are back. We have our dehydrator set up in the spare bedroom along with my canning jars. So we filled our trays I did, I could have filled a little more in the top tray there, but I wanted to save a couple of mushrooms for dinner. And so this is my dehydrator. It's a 6-tray Cosori, and we can dehydrate this 125 to 135 degrees for 6 to 12 hours. So I am gonna put it at 125, and we'll put it for 12 and a half hours. It's around 6 p.m. now, so it's going to run overnight. It's really not that noisy. I suppose if you were sleeping in this bedroom, it might bother you, but we don't notice it at all. It's much quieter than the air fryer. So you see here I have the curtains pulled back because the top doesn't gets warm but not too hot, but the sides and the back definitely get hot once it gets running, and I don't want anything to catch on fire. So definitely I don't store anything on top, and I keep everything away from it. So we will let this do its thing overnight, and we will see how things look in the morning. There's our mushrooms. See how much they shrink. So our mushrooms are done. So you want to make sure that you can snap them after they're done dehydrating, and check for their doneness. You got to let them cool off for about 10 minutes and then check to see if they're fully dehydrated. So I got about a jar and 3/4, and that was the 5 10-ounce packages of mushrooms, and been leaving them on the counter to condition them, just checking them every day, just making sure there's no moisture, the mushrooms are not sticking to the inside of the jar, to make sure that they truly are dehydrated. And now that I know that they're dry, you could put a like a silica packet in there to prevent any extra moisture getting in there, but I'm going to vacuum seal these, so it's not really necessary, but some people do add it as an extra precaution. So I'm just going to vacuum seal these, put them on my shelf. According to Darcy at the Purposeful Pantry, they should be good for 3 years. If you go one step further and you powder these, then it'll be good for 2 years. Well, I hope this has been helpful for you. Dehydrating is a great way to preserve your food, and I tell you, it just makes it so much easier, like I said, to just throw a soup together. I just grab whatever dehydrated vegetables I have on my shelf and add a protein if I want to, and we're good to go. Thanks for joining me today. Please like and share this video and subscribe if you haven't already done so. We'll see you next time. Bye.